Cute. Dustin. There you go. I didn't mean to. What's up, fish tank people? Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you in the rain. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you the AQUASHELLA prep. We got my wife's minivan. She's so thrilled that I'm taking her minivan. I got a bunch of ridiculous driftwood, but today I got called out by my daughter Maya, who's got a tank in her room that's been neglected. Your boy D's been a little bit busy with Greenhouse 2.0. We actually still don't have water, and I had to fire my first contractor, but more on that in another video or live this weekend at AQUASHELLA. Want to show you guys what I got going on. Bunch of cool stuff happening. It's a little screen action, box of shirts, little audio action happening this weekend. AQUASHELLA, links will be in the profile. Hope to see all of you there. Got some pretty sick new merch, if I do say so myself. But my daughter Maya called me out. She's like, Dad, you're doing all this stuff for everybody else's aquariums. Why don't you do something for mine? So the other day I gave it a little bit of a water change. And I am pumped to actually hook her up because she called me out. And quite frankly, I'm leaving my wife and 2 young daughters the first week of school being back in session to go to a trade show. So I'm going to hook up my daughter Maya's tank a little bit. She's got the F35 from our friends at Fluval, who, by the way, are part of the sponsoring of the kids aquascaping contest, 100% free. They've donated a bunch of filters to the contest, so shout outs to them. This is the betta fish that likes me more than my mom does. But this tank got a little bit of algae. It's a little bit stirred up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to stir it up, and I'm going to add some fast growing plants because this tank has actually been getting daylight from over here and had a little bit of algae on the side that I had to clean up. So I am loving this tank, but Maya called me out. She's like, Dad, why don't you do something to my tank? I'm like, all right, cool. So gonna hook my daughter up before I get out of town. And yeah, little mermaid action, you know. So here we go. Never fails the day I have to pack for a trade show. It's pouring rain. Want to show this real quick. The pond doing well. This is a little bowl that I have set up with everything growing above water, and I'm just letting this go. There's a Hygrophila, there's a Telanthera cardinalis, little Bacopa yellow flame down in there, and a tiny little Madagascar lace. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a tiny little mad lace in there. So this is a fun little thing, and it's easy to pick up and take with me. But I'm gonna walk you all with me to the greenhouse. I wanna show what I'm thinking with Maya's tank. Because it gets full sunlight, we got a couple of options. Let it rain! And we're gonna show some of the options that I'm gonna have. Obviously it's not exactly fair because I have a tiny, giant greenhouse full of plants, but there's some things I wanna work with, and that's one of them is fast growing plants. So there's a couple options here with that. I wanna do Hygrophila parawatota right here, which is a really fire plant. But the problem is the Hygrophila parawatota likes a little bit more light, so I don't trust it yet. So what I'm gonna do, and I recommend this to most people, is find a plant. That's a wicked plant, by the way. Find a plant that's a fast grower, that's easy to do first, and then when you get the easy stuff, work on to the harder stuff. So I'm gonna grab a stricta right here. This is Hygrophila stricta out of the high grow row. This is a little easier plant to grow. Well, good root structure on it, the whole deal. So Hygrophila stricta is gonna come with us. I've got Hygrophila stricta. The lights are pretty good for that. I've got some Telanthera and some Pogostemma stellata down here, but a lot of this stuff is already sold, so I know the stricta, I think I still have some of it available. So I'm gonna use some of that. The always hardy Bacopa yellow flame over here as well will be a good one. This plant right here, give us a nice contrast. So I'm gonna throw a couple of these in there, a couple of stricta in there. Maybe a Mirio, I'm not sure. Just gonna grab some random here and hook my daughter up because I'm leaving town, and every night I tuck her in and I read her a story, and she smuggles her dad, and she's 7, she's adorable. Other one's awesome too, but I mean this is my girl. So we're gonna take these in and we're gonna hook up Maya. But before I do that, I do want to show all the fire going on over here. Oops. Those of you not following me on Instagram, I've been doing Instagram live, doing a lot of giveaways and free plants and stuff on there. So check us out on Instagram. This is my favorite tank right here. Fun, fun, fun. Could use Hygrophila deformis, it's in this tank. But I don't know, I want to do something a little different. So these are going into mine. And here they are laid out on my wife's countertop because she's not around. So it's playtime. I love the way these open up. You always want to unbind your plants. So people ask, like, do you keep them in the lead weights? Do you keep them in the rubber band? No, you undo everything. In nature, do they come like that? No, it's just a, you know, way to package them. But you always want to undo them. So, all right. So this is one of the reasons I don't run a lot of Java moss in my tanks. It takes over everything. This is actually, I think, a Christmas moss, but it's kind of gotten messed up. So I'm trying to manually remove it. Just a little, it's just messy. It could be cleaned up, and I'm pulling out some of it here, putting it in a nice little food salad. Coincidentally, my plant salad's going in a actual salad container. Notice this is above water growth Amazon sword. That's now a fully converted plant. This is the leaf that was above the water. Now we've got all below water growth, narrower leaves, completely converted there. So loving that. But let's roll around to the other side here because I want to show this is how it rolls during the day, or it had been rolling. I think we went on vacation and we had the blinds open regardless, but this spot over here gets too much light. You can see from the algae on the rocks. So we're gonna go, the sword didn't take off like I would have liked for it to, probably because of the substrate, I'm not sure, but we're gonna go Hygrostricta down here right on top of that sword. I'm gonna go way deep with this, and I'm loving the Stricta. Josh came in, of course. Josh comes in and knows these plants better than me, and he points out, get up here real quick, Andrew. Josh points out all the new growth at the top. I didn't even notice that when I was showing him off earlier. He's like, yeah, dude, look at all the new growth on top. I'm like, oh, hello. Which is why Dustin used to spend more time with the plants. I could get down in there. And then, yes, this is being lit with my own standard double, which I've been selling a ton of these days. I'm bringing a bunch of them to Aquashella. This is the aqua clear that they're going to be using thanks to our friends at Hagen coming through with that for the 8 little kids aquascaping contest. And it's really just a free-for-all with the kiddos. I've got a bunch of pros coming as well from the Aquascapers Collective, and including my man Hep, who just took number 4 in the world in the 88 contest. So loving this, lots of roots on here. And I've got a red tiger lotus down in here that for whatever reason is just under this rock. So I'm gonna move this over. And these lotus are awesome. Super, probably the hardiest, I don't know, alternate there or red tiger lotus are some of my favorite red plants that don't require a whole lot. I'll move that over. And that kind of headed on its own. I like the contrast between the Stricta and the Dragonstone too. That's looking pretty tough, if I do say so myself. And you always want to spread them out, give the plant some room. So like I'm trying to do these half inch apart. Give them a little bit of space to kind of grow. I mean, just think like a plant, you know? If a plant was growing out in nature, how would it spread out, grow all over? This one's gonna go in the back. When you're doing this and you've got a plant with roots, plants absorb 400 to 400 times more nutrients at their roots. So what you want to do is, if you have like this plant right here, like I'm going to intentionally take this a little deeper than usual to get the roots down in there, so that plant is feeding down there. That makes sense? I think that's the thing people miss. Like, I'd rather the plant be deeper down in the substrate just to get the roots down to where they eat. If you're running a dirted tank, you know this. You can push this all the way down here. And that's, the plant looks a little shorter, but it'll do the plant more good because its roots are now able to eat easier because they're already down there. And I actually like the look of it higher up, but ultimately it'll be better for the plant. So I'm putting those a little lower than I'd like to. But the Stricta is looking pretty tough in there, if I do say so myself. I asked Maya if I could take these off. She told me no, the stickers have to stay, so be it. Dusty's getting excited. Actual humans at Aquashella, real life people cannot wait. Getting out of the bubble. Bringing Andrew and Josh too, bringing the thunder. And that's not letting me go down too deep, so I'm gonna go back here. My man Kevin Kelly of the Brooklyn Hardscapers did this hardscape. And I'll link up his channel as well. Probably my favorite aquascaper in the US. It's actually a little too tall for my liking, but it is what it is. Get those down there, pretend like that's a foreground plant, and then just come back in and hack it. But Bacopa's so hardy that like you just gotta utilize it. And Maya didn't pick out these plants, but she did call me out on not having her tank fixed up before I left town to go do a fish tank show. So gotta give the 7-year-old what she wants. My AQUASHELLA looks completely different in the water than out of water. It's got that nice like fluffiness to it. We've also got a variety called Vendale. But this stuff likes a little bit more iron. So we'll see how it does in here. That's coming obviously from the greenhouse into this. So less light, but less light and less maintenance, frankly. Because we do like almost daily water changes in the greenhouse. But I do 3 stems at a time. And I like this plant because it gets tall. It just has this like fluffy, I love the contrast of it. Like, you can see how it looks just next to a sword. It's a nice, nice mix. Here we go. Boom. There's that. Also want to try to hide this filter input from the, I think it's a 106 or 206 canister filter. And you will be seeing me set up an F90 here soon. My neighbor just caught one, and she wants me to do it. So Marnice is getting a tank. She actually has a cool story behind it too. She has her first aquarium in her basement, and she's like all about it. She's blowing me up, texting me, like looking at plants, sending me aquascape photos. So I'm really excited about setting up that tank for her, because you know, getting people into the hobby or back into the hobby is part of the game. So I'm gonna go over here. So that will outgrow that sword. And that sword contrast in there, but what I want is I want you to look through here, and then you'll see like the fuzziness through this wonderful scape by my man Kevin. So I'm gonna put some more Mayaka down in between these 2 pipes here. And then of course the betta fish with more personality than any fish around, hanging out. I'm doing this with the water full. I should actually have it drained, but I'm gonna do a nice little water change in this tank before Daddy heads out of town. There we go. I'm gonna remove the moss. I'd like to do something in the middle here, but I'll leave the moss in there actually. We'll put back down a little mermaid back into her spot right there. And little mermaid rolls with flounder, so flounder's going back down. And now Maya cannot yell at Daddy about this aspect before he goes out of town. Boom. Here's the risky one. Cute. Dustin. There you go. I didn't mean to. Please note the awesome Trident job turn about to get poured into the toilet. Alright, so this is a huge tip that I want you all to get familiar with, and I can't unfortunately express it through video, but it's this. My water right now, it's raining outside. My city, Fayette County, when it rains, they spike the chlorine and chloramine levels. Now, I don't know if Andrew can smell this, but when I pick this up, it smells like the pool. Like, it smells like Fayette County, like, pools. Like, it smells like a pool. It smells like chlorine. So I'm going to use the dechlor extra dechlor in this bad boy because when it rains, they spike it because of all the runoff. So I'm using double the dechlor this time around, just to be safe. The thing I like about this tank is that I can get all the stuff, like everything goes under the tank. Like it's all straight. Like I can fit that underneath there. I got the tube I can fit underneath there. Like it's just a nice little setup there. There's the 106. You could actually do a 404 on this same piping. Pretty legit. So yeah, not bad. And here's how we're looking after we got it a little bit cleaned up. Liking the way the Bacopa yellow flame is coming in the front. I'm gonna have to keep trimming that and replanting it, keeping it a foreground plant. Got the Hygrophila stricta. Still got the American Girl stickers over here and the Mayaka Celowiniana in the back. Do me a favor, folks. Hit the like button, subscribe button, share button, and drop me a comment if you're going to Aquashella, bro. See you soon, Chicago. Tank on, everybody. Later.